everybody. I have been commissioned to make a hook for the character Crocodile from One Piece. If y'all can see, this is how I take screenshots, by the way. I have never made one of these before. It is a cosplay that I'm not particularly familiar with because I'm a bad person. And I am not a good animator. Like, as much as I enjoy anime, I am not on the up and up. But the client, knowing that I haven't made one of these before or done anything like this really, is taking, a risk and being, putting their faith in me, to make it for them. And we're on a little bit of a deadline, but I got it kind of planned out in my head, and I think I'm going to be able to get it mostly done tonight, if not completely finished by tomorrow, because I'm probably going to have to wait for some paint to dry. You can see here some of the materials that I'm going to be using. I found this cheese poof jar. Hooray for being a hoarder. That's like roughly the shape, like ish. I just need to take some out of the center here. So I'm gonna do that. And I need to put in like a hand thing, something to like hold on to, because like my goals for this are it needs to be lightweight, because the client is going to be carrying it around a convention, and you don't want like a 30-pound like cast metal hook on your hand. So I'm gonna try to make it lightweight. I'm gonna try to make it durable, and easily repairable, because cosplay happens. It's like if somebody's gonna tackle you while you're wearing it, or you're gonna fall up the escalator, or cosplay will happen, and for whenever it does, we want to be prepared for being able to get you back in a cosplay competition mode. So, and I don't know if they're going to be wearing this competitively, but I do hope they do. I hope it looks good enough that they can feel like, yeah, I'm going to wear this to the cosplay. So, I have some PVC pipe here. I have 2 sheets of Terraflex. It's the Tandy Leather brand, basically Warbler. I really like it because I really like the fellows at my local Tandy Leather in Springfield. It's like an hour away from where I live, but they're really good to me there, and it's less expensive than Warbler, I think. I don't know, but I don't have to pay shipping because I go out there and I teach classes, and then I pick up some Terraflex while I'm in the building. So I have a heat gun. I have, and check out this, because I was like, okay, I've got the main part of the hook. I need something that will make like the hook. So if you're watching this, person who commissioned this from me, please don't panic. I'm gonna make it look good. It's not gonna be this is how it begins. I had this for like a couple dollars at a thrift store. I don't think it's an actual functioning music instrument. Horn of Gondor or something, maybe. No, it doesn't really have. It has like one note. I'm not a trumpet player either. Yeah, as sorry. I have some craft foam that I'm gonna use to give a little bit of 3-dimension to it. Box knife, PVC pipe cutters, satin finish, oil rubbed bronze, Krylon brush metallic, metal word brick or more, dries in 10 minutes or less. Spray paint, basically spray paint. This is going to be the undercoat that I'm going to do an acrylic wash over, which gold toned acrylics, and some PVC pipe. This is a piece that I had that, if y'all have seen my fur video, I wrapped the fur around it and cut it, and I was like, that looks about right, but it's just a little too long. So what I did was I went through and I rummaged up and found this other piece of PVC. Now I've got my stepdad's PVC cutters that I promise I'll put back. And I'm just gonna bring it in like a centimeter. I'm not a measuring kind of person. I should be. I really should be. But I'm not. I'm a monster. So I'm gonna eyeball it and just ratchet that down. And I think with some well-placed hot glue, that'll be perfect. I'm going to cut one that's just a little longer to see if it'll sit a little snugger, because I don't want it to be warped, don't do what I do. Please measure and do the math and figure out what, like, I think the geometry of it is I would use a cloth tape measure, like a bendy tape measure, to measure the circumference, and then pi r squared is how to find the circumference. I'm an artist, not a mathematician. Google it. But I would say to Randy, I would, like a while ago, I would say pi r squared, like, because I was trying to figure something out, and he was like, no, pi r round. Perfect. It's perfect. So now that's going to be on the inside so that you can hold it and it'll have that kind of bulky three-dimensional effect. So I'm going to set all this other PVC pipe to the side because you never know when you'll be able to use it. Put that aside. Let's see. I'm going to cut with this box knife. I think I'm going to cut it just directly in the middle. Okay. So I got a slice going there. I don't have any scissors. Vaughn, what are you doing with your life? Give me just a moment. I'm going to go grab some scissors. Okay, and I'm back. Now, at the Tandy Leather that I teach at, they do provide all the tools and materials, but I always kind of bring my own just in case. Because some of them I've made like some like modifications to. And I taught a class this morning on how to do lacing. Like the first half of the class was like how to do the saddle stitch, and then the second half was how to do like lacing on the edges, which I'm going to do a video for y'all at some point before hell freezes over. Sorry. But I brought my scissors with me there. It's nice heavy duty scissors, and then I also grabbed my general scissors. Okay, so I'm gonna get in there where I made the cut, and I'm just slicing, eyeballing it to keep it pretty equidistant. You could put a piece of string or yarn around it and use a marker to mark to do a straight line, but again, I am a monster, and I've had like about 4 cups of coffee in the past hour. So I ain't got time for that. So bringing it around, trying to make sure we get a nice straight line. Oop, right there. Okay. And so now what's going to happen is one of these sides, by an act of God, is going to fit into the other. And to get that to happen, I'm going to do some little snips. I think I'm going to start with just 2. 4. I'm going to do 4. And some packaging tape. But this will fit maybe. Damn it, get in there. Ah! I apologize. Okay, so doing just a little slit isn't working, so I'm actually going to take a dart out. For those of y'all who are familiar with sewing terms at all, a dart is basically removing that little bit. There, you can kind of see. Like it's taking out this very long, narrow triangle. And this will give it some space to collapse down on itself. And this will let us fit one side into the other side, in theory. Again, all of this is like, treat this like it's the night before the convention and you have to get this made now. Like, this is the kind of mindset. I mean, I still have a couple of weeks, but I really want to get this made because I'm just excited to see if I can do it. Like, I am full-on obsessed excited about this cosplay right at this moment. that fits in so snug and perfect. Except for that one spot. Check that out. So that shortened it down. Because I want the proportions to be right. Like in the anime, like I don't know if you can see, but like this part ends what looks like halfway between his elbow and his hand. So if we could put this in here. Oh yeah. So that's our base, you guys. Now I want this to stay really well held together. So I'm gonna rummage out some packaging tape. And I want this to go down nice and smooth. So I'm gonna find the seam side. And I am just going to lay it just like that. And I don't want any bumps in it, so I'm going to be real careful to just lay it down nice and straight. Which, I mean, really, this is going to be getting covered in like Terraflex and craft foam and stuff. But the smoother of a base that I can make, the easier making the Terraflex all nice will be. Because I do not have it in me to do a ton of sanding on this. So, we'll see how that goes. I'm just using my fingernail to straighten out and put down all the spots where it didn't go down perfectly flush. Do y'all need a different angle on this? Like, I wish I could get... I kind of want to do some live streams. That way I can get y'all's input. But I'm so highly distractible that I think it would take me like 20 hours to make this if I were actually getting feedback. Like, instead of it right now, it's kind of a one-sided conversation. But let me know what you guys' thoughts are on me doing some live streams. Now, also, comfort of the cosplayer is first and foremost. So there are some jagged little points in here, so I am going to take some packaging tape and maybe I'm gonna see if I can't fit my hand in here and get it to like package tape. Oh yeah, the inside. And it looks like it. Okay, so I have the packaging tape in here. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it to roll. Maybe. Oh, me of little baby. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay, there's just not enough room to make anything happen. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to do this in strips, about 6 inches long. There's one. And I'm grabbing it like this. Sticky side is on this side. And I'm just putting my hand in and putting the strip starting in the center where I need it to be, and then flattening it in each direction. And what this is doing is it is covering up that raw edge so that you're not gonna, I don't know, for me, if I'm wearing something and there's anything pokey or wiggly or fidgety, I'm gonna be pokey, wiggly, fidgeting with it and it's gonna drive me nuts. So if the client has anything that they want pokey, fidgety, edgy, with their cosplay, I'm gonna let them do that. That's on them. But I'm gonna try to make it as nice and smooth and seamless as possible. So yeah, just pressing it down, putting tape where you feel like you need it. That dart came in a little deeper than some of the other ones, so I'm going to cover it up. That way, I mean, there's still a bump there, but at least it's not a sharp bump. Okay. And there we go. That's all taped up on the inside. No, it's not. I just overlapped. Ah. Sorry, I'm dirt. Okay. Let me find where I haven't taped. Okay. Now I've taped all of it. Okay. Let me dig out my hot glue gun. If I can remember where it is. Glue gun, where is you? Glue gun. That'll be the day if I actually got a response from my... There you are. From my glue gun. Okay, so... I'm going to go ahead and get this plugged in and heating up. It's got some glue in it already. These are, I think I got these from like Walmart. They're the glue sticks I'm using. Aren't there like some silicone heat hot glue guns? I'm going to put the packaging tape away. Also, this is going to be the first product I've ever made for anyone that has hot glue in it. But I see it used so much by a lot of the other cosplayers that I think maybe it'll be okay. Like, but I don't really know. Like, I don't want to do a bunch of globbed up tape, and I don't know if I want to use Terraflex on the inside. Like, I'm just not entirely certain, and I certainly don't want to compromise the integrity of this thing, because right now it's pretty durable, but if I start popping a bunch of holes and stuff in it, like, I don't know how that's gonna go. Okay, so while this heats up, I am going to start thinking about this, the hook. Now, you can see the hook has definitely more of like a question mark shape. So I'm going to get in here, and some of this stuff is welded. So I'm going to use these cheapo wire snips that I'm not worried about whether or not they break or get junked up. And I'm going to, there's these two like welded spots. I'm going to kind of wrench apart. Oh, come on. There we go. Now this is just going to be the core too. I just wanted something that was a little bit more structural, almost like armature wire on the inside. Now that's poking out all kinds of awful, so I am going to take my pliers, which are also in the box. And I'm going to, I think, peel it off. Like, normally I'd try to smush it down, but I'm just going to peel this off. But that'll work. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Now this one I am just going to smush down. This is a relatively soft metal. Yeah, that'll be fine. And watch, I'll cut myself on it. Like a dirt. Okay, so now this part, you can see here, I need to make it to where it curves like kind of back a little bit. So I'm going to use, oops, God, dear God, gravity. Welcome to my life. Let me clean up my mess for a hot minute. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to take my hammer head of my hammer, and use this as a mandrel to shape the horn around. Now it pinched, but that's okay because this is going to be covered in foil, Woo, little too far. It's going to be covered in foil and then covered it with Terraflex because it's all, you can see it's all the same metal tone. So now I'm going to cut, the loop looks like I'm going to cut right about here. Unfortunately, this is really cheap metal. Like, I mean, with wire snips. If I had like some proper like shears or bolt cutters, this thing wouldn't have lasted a minute. Okay. I'm actually going to take this and flatten it down. Like that. Now, I don't want this to be like weapon sharp, but it does taper to a fine point in the reference image that I'm using. So I'm just coming through, if you can see, and bending, you can't see, the edge of this down and around. Just like that. Again, just trying to sculpt out the generalized shape of it. There we go. So you can see, there's our tip. I'll put this back where it goes-ish. Let me find my aluminum foil so that we can build up the sculpting on this. I'm not gonna burn myself on the heat gun. Or, not the heat gun. Hot glue gun. Foil. I guess this isn't really helping. There we go. Ah! Oh, it's a moth. Okay. Is that lighting better for you guys? Like, I don't know. I've got like 6 lamps going. Okay. So this is going to be sitting like this on... The hook looks bigger than his head. It really does. In all of these Google images. I don't know if it's just a perspective, and I'm trying to not look at other people's cosplays because I want it to be as focused on being canon as possible. Yeah, the hook looks about the size of his face. Now it has some interesting little pox marks on it in some of these. Like leaking like purple gas. But the reference image that the client sent to me was of it being like completely gold and the same texture all over. So I am going to start building up. Again, I want it to be really lightweight. That's why I'm using the foil. I'm going to build up the, kind of the core with this foil. I basically just made some foil ribbon. I love having the armature wire. I mean, look at how easy that was to just get it, boom, just like that. I'm going to scooch it down on the hilt of the hook a little bit more because it looks like it's a pretty, like, there's no like real narrow point, so that'll help beef that up. Ah, you guys, this is, okay, it's coming together. Sorry, I was excited for, I'm still excited, but I'm containing it better. Because I thought a lot of different ways about how to do this. The first time I did it, I gutted a basketball. And it was too round, like, it wasn't right. Like, and it completely lost its structure. And it was just, I was having a bad time. So I want a nice thick part here on the hook. So it's going to kind of gradiate thin to thick to very thin. don't even know how I'm going to ship this. I guess in a box, but should I make it detachable? No. I don't know. When the spray paint's drying, I think I might send the client an email. Oh, I don't know. Because I really don't want to complicate the overall structural integrity of the piece. By making it detachable, but I wonder if that would make it much more portable. I think I'm gonna make it just all one piece. Ow, that's sharp. Oops. Yeah, definitely don't want that poking out all sharp and stuff and like taking out little kids when you're walking through the aisles at the convention. Okay, so there is our hook shape. You can kind of see. And so now this is also where a big test comes in, is I need to see how this plastic behaves when exposed to heat, basically. Which, oops, the heat gun, hot glue gun is a perfect tester of that. I'm going to go through and do a base layer of the hot glue. Just here on the edge. Y'all, it's been so long since I've done a cosplay video. Like, I know that doing the video tutorials kind of takes it out of a time context, but just so y'all know, it's been like 4 months. That's too long. Eep! Okay, making sure the plastic is nice and clean. And getting this good and centered. It looks like it's going to hold up. And now I'm going to do a beefed up layer of the hot glue. Just here on the top edge to seal it. Like seal it in even further. Just using, I'm not going to use my slobber. I'm going to use my slobber. Sorry. To just repel and flatten. It keeps the hot glue from sticking to my finger. I'm sorry, but it's like I don't have any water directly on hand and I need it flattened like right now. You know what I can do? I lied, I do have water on hand. Okay, I feel a lot better about that. Just getting my hands kind of wet to distribute the heat, and I am just smushing this down to hold that on. Also, seeing that this does react well to the hot glue, like, that's on there. It didn't budge a bit. And so once I have the Terraflex over it as well, I think it'll be really, really sturdy. I'm gonna go ahead and hot glue in, plastic. How is it oriented? Well, I guess you can change your hand position. But most hooks, you know, hook and bring towards you. So I think I'm going to have it set up like this. That way when you're posing, it'll give you a nice like bicep flex. Boom. It's important to think about these things though, because if you're at a convention and you're getting lots of pictures taken, or if you're competing in the costume contest, or you just want to show off your guns to the babes or to the bros, it doesn't matter. Just showing off the gun show. If I'm so sorry, like that I'm me sometimes. I apologize. I think I'm funny at least, but it's important to think about how you're going to be presenting yourself, Vaughn. I can't believe that y'all even watch my videos. Like, why are you even here? I'm not going to argue with a good thing though. But yeah, that's actually coming together. Ish. Now I just have to make it look good. But let's get the just a bit of hot glue, I guess. There's on that end. There's on that end. Yeah. Okay, so it's not going in there as much as I wanted it to. So I'm going to try desperately to get this to reach in and fall on it. Just making a big old goopy pile. Like, I mean, I'm making a big old glob of the hot glue. Getting my hand good and wet. And then sculpting, ouch, the hot glue, ouch, around, ouch, to make, blasted, to make a nice connection. Ow, bloody, it's like it's hot. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Like I said, kind of hyper. Oh no! Monet and drunk. Time for another glue stick. Okay. Yes, I do reload noises when I refill my... Don't you? What are you doing with your life? And again, I'm making a big old glob. The globbiest glob that ever there was. Not even kidding you guys, this is the biggest prop I'll have ever made in my whole entire life. Like, I'm so excited. And I think I'm addicted. Like, this is actually coming together way faster than I thought it would. Really helps that I had a cheese poof jar from like 6 years ago, but we're not talking about that right now. This is not about me. This is about the cosplay. Okay, so that is... There we go. Do you see how it's all gooped up in there? Oh yeah. Feels pretty secure and it's not even dry yet. But yeah, because like the plastic water bottles do not hold up to hot glue, like at all. Not even a little bit. So that's why I was kind of leery about the... You know, this might have been like cheesy pretzel trail mix. Like with Doritos and nuts, and I don't even know. It was some sort of snack food. It was a snack, a plastic barrel of snack food. Because who doesn't need that in their life? Yo, look at that. Okay, so Now, I want to beef up this center section to be about 1/2 inch of protrusion. And so to do that, I have this craft foam here that is left over from a different project, and I'm going to be using it to beef up underneath the TerraFlex. Pulling the staples out. And so it looks like I'm going to want it to be about that wide. Now this is something that I am going to measure out because it's going to look like it's going to show. Okay, so I have some lines drawn, if you can see, all nice and straight, and I'm doing my best to cut along the lines, like so. Okay, so I'm going to see how far this gets us before cutting up more strips. So what I'm going to do is I have it hot glue. Hot glue. And I'm going to try really hard to make this nice and straight because goals. I bet that'd be really pretty. So you can see how it's really starting to get more of a rounded shape by beefing up this center part. I think I am actually going to cut some more, because whenever you're on stage, a little bit of exaggeration can go a long way. This feels thinner though, doesn't it? So having the details be a little larger, be a little more sticky-outy, or protruding, is going to benefit your stage presence, I think. I love how quickly hot glue dries. That is definitely really nice, that you can like build something and not have to wait like a million years for it to set up. And it's also nice that it's not like the E6000 where it's really, really powerful smelling. Let's see the reference image. Y'all, I think that's looking good. Ah, one more. Okay. So now I want something that will keep these edges nice and smooth. So I'm actually going to use a little bit more tape. Packaging tape. And I'm just going to use this to smooth down this seam here. That way when the TerraFlex lays over it, it's not going to be like a very distinct ridge. Because the tape will be filling that in. I'm also going to go through and tape over right here, because I don't want that translating through the Terraflex either. Because honestly, the Terraflex is easily the most expensive part of all of this. So I don't want to have to use any where I could have gotten away with using something else. Gravity, which is where the craft foam comes in, which is where, I mean, a lot of these different things, it's like the less expensive, the more lightweight filler material you can use, the better. So I think that's pretty much the general shape. Ooh, that's still pretty sharp. I'm gonna have to take care of that with the Terraflex. So now, pretty sure I'm done with this. Let me tidy up my workspace. Now, also, sorry, I am in no way ultra experienced with thermoplastics, but I do feel like a lot of this stuff is pretty approachable, so let's do this together and do our best. Okay, I'm going to start by taking the tag off. I hate tags, and I don't think it's going to melt well. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start by... I'm going to put this shiny, like this is sitting on my work surface, and I'm going to put this shiny side down this way. And I'm going to start heating it and just letting it settle over our prop. Y'all hear that? This is what my dogs do every time. Every single time. There is an ambulance, a police car, anything. This is the song of my people. Nothing I can do. The silly mutts think it's the end time. So that's how it's coming along. So now I'm going to try melting down up this top part. So this is how it's coming along so far. Getting the kind of basic shape going. It's not as perfectly smooth as I would like it to be, but we'll see how that translates as we keep building it. So now So here's our shape, you guys. And it's been covered in the Terraflex. And now I'm actually going through, trying my darndest to kind of crease out all of these edges and seams and different things. So that whenever I go through and paint it, there's not quite so much going on texture-wise. Because, I mean, in an anime, a lot of things have no texture. You know, like, it's just like a perfectly smooth metal. And so I think there is a trick to this, to getting something that is real and fully three-dimensional to look like something out of an anime that maybe lacks a certain level of rendering. And so I'm not entirely sure what level of realism the client is looking for, but I know they're gonna want like a lot of these thicker, heavier lines smoothed out. So I'm gonna do my best to kind of blend everything together. I'm just using like a little spoon tool. I'm going to take some pictures to send to the client to make sure that they do in fact like what's going on. Overnight, I am going to, like, if they like it, I'm going to finish smoothing out all of these lines. And I'm going to spray paint it, and then I'll meet you guys back here tomorrow. Hey everybody, so I talked to the client and they absolutely love it, and I'm so glad because I put a lot of work into it, and it really was my first project like this. I've never made a prop before. I've never used this much thermoplastic. I've never made something out of a cheese poof barrel and a fake trumpet. Like, so many firsts. But I did learn a lot, especially like the shoulders here looked a lot more like this part. Like, it was a fairly evenly, like, symmetrical vertical wise barrel when I started, but the shoulders collapsed in from the heat of the heat gun. So that's something that I'm really gonna have to keep in mind next time, because I ended up using a lot more material, like a lot more Terraflex, a lot more foam, and a lot more time trying to reshape this top portion, as well as, like, the Terraflex came out perfect on this part, all smooth and great and awesome. It's got a little bit more of a seam than I would like. I need to work on my seaming, but I'm so lazy. I don't want to have to sand stuff. Oh my god, that takes like forever. So I'm gonna have to figure out something about that. And then also this part didn't come out nearly so smooth like as what I had originally envisioned. And so, like most things, I decided to fake it till I make it and be like, okay, well, it's obviously not going to look exactly perfect from the anime. Let's give it some battle damage, some level of realism here. Like, I mean, if this is a hook, like, as a weapon, and if it actually is made out of gold, which is a relatively soft metal, it is going to have a lot of pox marking from dents and bashes and different things that are happening. You know, the wear and tear. I mean, he's a pirate, so it's very unlikely that they have forges and metalsmithing stuff and all sorts of stuff like that on whatever kind of ship they're on. I really need to watch One Piece. That's probably my favorite part about getting to do custom pieces for folks is that it's like it motivates me to kind of research and find out about characters and shows that I otherwise may have never made time for. So it's like I'm really pleased with how this came out though. And the handle up on the inside, the PVC pipe, works out perfect. So good. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment. If you have any ideas, questions, or comments, please leave them down in the comment area below. If you enjoy my free tutorials and would like to participate in my bi-monthly fairy house giveaway, please check out the Patreon link that's down below. If you become a $1 or more patron, it puts your name in the hat to win one of my handmade fairy houses. At the time of recording, I'm about to do the second video. Not video. Gosh, words are hard. I'm going to be doing the second giveaway for February, and this is the prize. It's a very cute little three-dimensionally sculpted tree that's on a naturally occurring hold stone. So that's pretty neat, and just all kinds of stuff. I'm doing all kinds of stuff on there. So please go check it out. There might be a thing popping up on the screen. It's like, support Yvonne Williams. That if you just feel the need to give me money. Or you can place custom orders with me, and I will make a video out of me making the stuff for you. So I mean, that's pretty cool. I think that you'll not only will you get to have something made by me, but you'll actually get to see how it's made, which is so cool. Oh my god, I kind of want one of these for me. I'm not gonna pick my nose with it, client. I'm not gonna like name you on the internet just in case you like don't want me to do that. But I didn't pick my nose with it. I promise. I'll clean it before I send it to you. But I did put 2 or 3 coats of polyurethane aerosol sealant on it to keep it from scratching up, because I wanted that nice acrylic overlay to stay a nice acrylic overlay and not just start flaking off and stuff. So thanks you guys so much for watching. I'd love to hear any advice or comments or tips or ideas for future projects from you guys. Happy crafting. Have a fabulous day. I'll see you guys around.